Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with these little cards that I managed to pick up recently at a car boot sale. Now, I'd have to say, I'm not actually too sure what these cards were originally. I mean, I'm assuming they were some sort of like index card thing. They've got these markings on them. I think these are printed, although I have to say, when I first looked, I thought they were perhaps drawn on with a biro. But if they were, my goodness, this person's the most consistent person I've ever seen with a biro, because they're all absolutely, you know, identical. But yeah, they were just kind of bundled up in this elastic band, and I thought, oh, you know, these are perfect size for journal cards. So yeah, I've got loads left, even if we use a ton. But what I thought we could do is make some journal cards using these. And I thought, let's make some using these with napkins. So I've pulled out a whole bunch of different napkins here to make some with. And then, yeah, I'm not quite sure how we're going to go with these. We're just going to kind of see, you know, see where it takes us. And yeah, just kind of like, you know, get creative really and make some pretty things. Now, I have to say, obviously, I would probably prefer to cover up this, you know, the lined area. However, the napkin might, you know, might not quite cover it. So I'm thinking then, am I better off not looking like I'm trying to cover it, if you see what I mean? And we'll just have it as the, you know, as the back section, or, you know, the back of the journal card. So let's just peel this off and see how it looks kind of through the napkin, and then perhaps we'll get a bit of a feel for, you know, how well it would actually cover, because I mean, sometimes I think if things don't then cover very well, then you're better off not looking like you have tried to cover it, if that makes sense. I mean, that looks, yeah, I don't know, perhaps I'll do some and some. You know, and we'll do a mixture. So I'm not going to bore you to tears with me decoupaging this, because of course, you know, you've seen me decoupage before, and obviously there's hundreds of videos for decoupaging out there. So I'm just going to decoupage like a few of these, and then I will come back. Right, I am back. So I have decoupaged, well, I've decoupaged a ton of them, but yeah, I've just pulled in 3 because let's be realistic, it's highly unlikely I'm going to do more than 3 in the course of a video. So let's just trim these down. So far I've just kind of torn around the edge of the napkin. So, and like I always say, I try and kind of like cut in by 1 millimetre or so, because anywhere where it's not then quite stuck down to the edges, it's just going to then, you know, you're just going to kind of, by going over by 1 millimetre, you might just capture the line of glue a little bit better. I mean, that's just how I, you know, how I find it. Now, these are still a little bit on the soggy side because, of course, I have only just decoupaged them. But I've tried to pick, you know, some of the first ones that I did, so that hopefully they're a bit drier than, obviously, the ones that I've literally just done in the last few seconds. So, like that. And then what I thought that I would quite like to do is do some stenciling and things like that on these. Now, I don't very often do stencil-y type things on, well, on junk journals really. I kind of save stenciling. I have no idea why this is, but I seem to just struggle with the crossover between an art journal and a junk journal. So I tend to do only stenciling in my art journal and don't really tend to do it very much at all in a junk journal. So I thought, let's try and overcome that and, yeah, do some stenciling on these. So I've brought along a couple of stencils, and I've got my gesso. Now, I've got white and I've got black. So if you watch my channel, you'll know that I always really love to use the black gesso. So yeah, I'm not quite sure yet what we're going to go for, but let's just kind of have a play. Now, I've also brought along some of my little photograph printables. So these come with 3 pages, and you get 2 pages with like large, so 4 photos to a page, and then you get this page where you've got obviously the smaller size photos, so the 8 to a page. Again, I say this all the time, my printer, when it takes through this really thick 250 GSM card, it just chops off this edge. It just doesn't like printing on such thick card. That's just something to do with my printer. So yeah, please don't kind of, you know, pay much kind of heed to that really. But that's fine because I can just punch these out or tear them out or whatever, you know, it's absolutely fine. I don't really mind. So I'm going to cut some down, I think, as the photo. And then I think I'm going to punch a couple out as well. So we've got that one. Now, let's take this one. Now, I bought a couple of new punches recently. So I've got a 3-inch and I've got a 2-inch oval punch. Now, I haven't ever used these, it's got to be said. So I think the 3-inch might actually be going to be too big for these. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. So let's just punch her out. So I got these punches from Amazon. They are the brand Vasen Creative. I don't really know how you pronounce that, but it's V-E-S-S-E-N Creative. And I got the 2 so that I could kind of layer them. I had those small ovals that I bought, I think it was last year. And I really, really, really love using the ovals, I have to say. I just find them such a sort of change to, you know, circles and squares and rectangles and all of that. So, yeah, I'm really kind of loving the ovals. And I thought, well, actually, why not get some in another size still? Because it will just give more options for, you know, for more things. So, yeah. Right. So, like I say, got a couple that are actual, you know, the photographs in a hole, and then I've got this one that's an oval. Now, do we want to take another one into an oval? I'm just going to pull that plastic sort of sleeve bit off of my punch. I always do that with my punches, really, you know, because I like to have them where I can see the piece, and I very rarely would kind of punch a whole bunch where it's all stored in there. You know, I think it gets kind of blocked up and things like that doing that anyway. So, yeah, I don't kind of tend to do that. Right, so let's cut these down for next time. Okay, haven't decided quite which ones I'm going to use. Now, this one also actually could have this landscape, so I might have it like that. Let me just check which way around I want these. Yeah, I mean, she looks really good on there, doesn't she, with that dark. He looks good on there, and I'll keep this one for another day, I think. So, yeah, really like those. Now, this is where I just get super nervous because I think, oh, I don't really want to gesso on here. I don't want to ruin my, you know, well, decoupage napkins, basically. I mean, that's all I have on here so far. So, it's not kind of like really a biggie, is it? It's not going to be the end of the world, even if I ruined it. I mean, hello, why am I so worried? It's ridiculous. But yeah, for some reason I do kind of get that feeling where I'm like, oh, I don't want to ruin it. Now, this is another Stamperia stencil. I know that I said ages ago that I had ordered a few stencils, and I think at the time only 1 or 2 had arrived, and I think I ordered about 5 or 6, or actually maybe only 3 or 4. But anyway, this was the other one. So I haven't actually ever used this one yet. So it's going to be a first for all of us here. So I've just got my little piece of card here. Now, I really find this the best way for me personally to, you know, use the stencils is just with a cut up piece of store card or credit card or whatever, and do it like that. I just find these a lot better to use than the, you know, the pieces that they actually come with. No idea why, but yeah, for some reason I just find them sort of better. Now, do I want to have any book page or anything like that behind her? What do we think? Might look quite nice, mightn't it? So, yeah, let me just pull in a little bit of book page to just have a little bit coming out behind her, I think. Sort of, so she's layered up onto something. So I've just got this that is all torn anyway. Okay. Yeah, just so we've got sort of a bit of contrast and a bit of layering going on. Now, do I want to ink that up before putting that down? No, I'm not going to, actually. Oh, I hope I don't regret that. Again, I mean, how ridiculous. You know, I'm worrying, am I going to regret not inking this book page? I don't know what goes on in my head, you know. Because honestly, I think most of the time, you know, once you've made something, you've kind of moved on, really. You don't then spend hours thinking, oh no, I wish that I'd inked that piece. But you know, while you're in the moment, you obviously want to get it right, don't you? So, you know, I then find myself thinking, oh, do I want to ink it? Don't I want to ink it? Oh, I don't want to make the wrong decision. You know. Okay, right, let's just get this down here. Just mop up. Okay, now do I want to rough the edges of this? I do love a roughed edge, as you know. So I'm just going to, yeah, rough the edges of my photo. So this is printed on 250 GSM photo quality paper / card. And like I say, I mean, I absolutely love the quality of this paper. You know, the way it prints, it's really gorgeous. The only thing is my printer really, you know, it is kind of too thick for the printer. It's not happy pulling it through. And therefore it does do that weird thing where it kind of grabs it through and ends up, you know, missing like the first section, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have her like that. Now, I'm just wondering, do I want to stencil on before or after? Oh, let's do it. Let's do it after. Right, now I might put her on as a pocket. And again, the reason I'm going to do this is just because it gives me options. If I don't use her as a pocket, you know, because I might glue other things on here and actually not even be able to access the pocket part. You know, but that's fine. It's no, you know, no drama, is it? It's just giving me options to put her on as a pocket in the first place, I think. So, like that. Okay. Yep. Right, now this is where I now feel nervous because, yeah, I've committed to it now. I've said I'm going to do it. I have to do it. Let's hope that this goes okay. Just really wanted to, yeah, to do something like this, but, oh, I don't know now. I feel nervous because I love how she looks already and I just don't want to ruin it. Oh, let's just go for it. Right, okay. So I don't necessarily want to actually, you know, what's the word? You know, stencil over her. So I'm just going to cover her with some book page there, so that my stencil is around but not on her. Okay, so there we go. So, oh, how pretty does that look? And then where else should we have more? Do we want to have a patch here? So yeah, I'm thinking put this down lower like that and then have this up here. Oh dear. Right. Like that. Okay. Oh dear, I don't know what happened there. Maybe I had some, oh, I think I had some gesso on the back. Again, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's not the end of the world. So I'm just going to leave that gesso to dry for a few seconds. And whilst that's drying, let's move on to this one. So bring him in. Now again, I could rough up the edges. Like that, okay. Like that, okay. Just get him nicely roughed up. And then just again going to ink around him like that. So he's nice and grungy. Now I'm actually wondering whether I could even punch another oval. I know it would be the same size, but because I've taken him in quite a bit with the roughed edges, I just wonder whether it would actually be visible or not. So should we try that? I mean, this is, you know, this is stuff I've not really tried before. So yeah, whether it's going to work or not, who knows, but let's just have a look. So if I just pull in, for instance, here, okay. I mean, I've no idea whether this is even going to show up behind him, because obviously they're the same size ovals. I mean, probably what I should have done was use the 2-inch oval to obviously punch him out. Shall I just see if I can do that now? Right, I'm just going to pull this off as well, because then I can see a little bit better. Oh, do you know, let's go for a different one. Oh dear, right. Let's go for this one instead. Okay. I thought perhaps where I'd roughed those edges up that there would be sufficient, you know, stuff showing underneath, you know, sufficient kind of the oval underneath, but actually it wasn't really roughed up enough. No, yeah, it wasn't, you know, there wasn't enough of it showing, and that one now looks minuscule on there, so not really happy with that either. Oh, what a shame, because I'd got these to have as like nesting, you know, ovals. I mean, let's just try roughing up these edges. So hopefully we would be actually creating the illusion of this being smaller than it actually is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether this is going to pan out or not, but let's give it a try. So again, just going to ink this up a little bit. Like that. And then I think what I'm going to do is actually gild the edges of this as well. It's not looking as yeah, as good as I'd hoped. Right, let's just take some gold in here. Just take my gold around. Yep. Okay. And then just take my photo. Again, I haven't inked this up yet, so just ink him up a bit. Oh, I mean, that looks pretty rubbish, I have to say. Yeah, pretty rubbish so far. Right, okay, plan B. Plan B. Now this one, I was going to use the black gesso. So I'm actually wondering whether... I could use some white gesso on here and then go over it with some gold. So I keep it really textury. So I'm going to try and do this a bit lumpy. Let's see whether we can, yeah, see whether this pans out. Okay, and just go around. Oh, I've dipped my finger in the gesso now. I mean, it was literally only a matter of time, wasn't it, before that happened? Let's be honest. You know, it actually was probably surprising I'd gone as long as I had without dipping my finger in it. Okay. Well, right, let me scrape my gesso off of here. Right, going to have to, yeah, get a wipe. Because now, of course, I've got it everywhere. This is like really, yeah, wing and a prayer type stuff. You know, just winging it completely. So let me just clean my stencil off for a minute. Okay. Sorry about the mess that's now on my desk. I mean, it wasn't very good in the first place. It was very messy, but even worse now. Right, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to dry this with my heat tool, just to try and speed up the process a little bit. Because then what I'd like to do is be able to dab like some gold and things like that on top of here, or maybe some ink. I'm not sure yet. Like I say, this is just completely kind of freestyling now. None of this is a planned part of this at all. So yeah, right. I'm going to leave this to dry for a moment. Okay, so I have obviously heat embossed it, but I'm just going to leave it to dry slightly more, so it's yeah, hopefully completely dry. Right, let's take more book page now. I'm just going to put this behind her as well. Oh, I mean, isn't she lovely? Just beautiful on that blue as well. She just looks gorgeous, doesn't she? So yeah, let's just pop this one down. And then again, let's just rough her up around the edges. Now again, thinking, do we want to have some gold on her? And what stenciling do we want on her? Now, do we want to try and be brave? And did I try ever stenciling with the paint stick? I just can't remember whether I did or not, to be honest. I think I did, and I think it wasn't brilliant. That said, I'm now not sure whether I did or not. You know, I can't actually remember. Let's put some gold around her. Like that. Okay. Right, let's just pop her down. Okay. Like that. And then, right, now I'm going to just try, I can't remember, to be perfectly honest, whether we did try this before or not with the gold. And if we did, I can't remember what the results were like. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not saying that text would be necessarily the best thing, because it's not come out brilliantly. But if I did maybe the pattern more, let's just try a bit on this book page with the pattern. Okay. Oh, again, I mean, it's not brilliant, to be honest. Yeah, not brilliant at all. Okay. Right, so that's a bit of a no. Okay, so yeah, at least we know now. At least we know before we tried that did not work. So let's try mixing up some gold paint with some white gesso and see if that would work better. So I'm going to put some white gesso out here onto the table. Okay. Oops. Oh, again, this is not good planning, is it? Because I've barely got any room there to do it. Got nothing really to mix it in with. Right, let me see. Try and squirt some of this out. I'm running out of gold paint as well, so yeah, just need to be careful, because sometimes when you're running out, it suddenly squirts out and then it will be all over my jumper before I know it. Okay. Let's just see how that looks. Try this. It's gone a bit pinky, to be honest. So yeah, again, not the best, but I don't know whether you can get gold gesso. Thinking that's something I must look out for, because that would be fantastic. And maybe some of you guys have got some brilliant ideas for other stuff. Well, to be honest, I mean, yeah, it's very peach. I don't want to waste this now, so I'm just going to gesso over something else. So let me just bring in maybe one of the other cards that I've done for another time, you know, because obviously we're not going to get to all of it. I've got this one. This is a little bit soggy, but I just don't want to waste this, you know, the gesso and the gold. So I'm just going to go over here, you know, just so I'm not wasting it. Okay. Like that. Okay. Right, so I shall save this for another day. But yeah, I just didn't want to waste it. So let me just wipe that off. I mean, I actually had plenty on there. I could have probably done some more, but you know, another one. But never mind. Right, let me just wipe my stencil off. Okay. Honestly, why do I end up getting so much mess everywhere? I'm obviously very ill prepared for videos like this, I think. That's the only explanation. Yes, very ill prepared. Right. So now I'm going back to that blue one and thinking we're going to have to do something else because obviously that gold didn't come out brilliantly. I mean, I could try and just stencil with paint. I'm not sure. I've tried that before, I think, and I didn't have great results because the paint was very wet and it kind of like, not ran exactly, but, you know, sort of smudged underneath the stencil. So let's try it. I mean, I suppose what I could do is, again, let's try a piece on some book page. Maybe again with this, because perhaps I tried this before I'd started using the card method, which I definitely find is brilliant for me. Oh yeah, that looks brilliant now. So yep, that's definitely the way to go for me. Right, okay. So again, let me just clean the back of this stencil off, just so I'm not smudging it as soon as I put it down. Right, okay, let's bring her in. So I'm going to again cover her up. So what I could do, so as I'm really, you know, being conscientious, is punch out an oval and actually cover her properly. So size-wise, she's properly covered, like that, okay? And then just going to get my stencil, and we're just going to stencil over. Oh, this is where now I need more paint. Oh dear. Right, okay, hold on a second. I keep squeezing it out and squeezing it out. I mean, there's literally like none really in here. That said, you know, I've been saying that for several videos now. So yeah, it obviously still has got a little bit. I must remember to buy some when I'm next out. Okay, right. Okay. Let's just try again. Okie dokie. And then just a bit here. Okay, right, fingers crossed when I lift this that I haven't just made a horrible smudgy mess. Okay, well, it's not quite as clean and nice as it was on the book page, but, you know, I suspect that's my own fault. You know, I've probably done something that's made that smear and smudge a bit. I probably didn't keep the stencil perfectly still and in place, but never mind. It's not too bad. So I'm just going to wipe this off now, ready for next time. Okay. To be honest, I mean, how stunning does that look? I mean, even though I haven't really, you know, the execution wasn't brilliant, it still looks really lovely, doesn't it? So let's bring the first one back in, because obviously, you know, I'm still waiting for the other one to dry. I'm going to round the corners of this like that. And then what I'd like to do is get a bit kind of arty with this by maybe, you know, smudging on maybe some paint and things like that. So, oh my goodness, I'm back with that gold paint again. Wouldn't have thought I would just give up by now. Yeah, still persevering. So, some more gold paint. Maybe what I should actually do is throw this away in a minute because, you know, perhaps seeing an empty tube will actually make me remember to buy some. Let me just be really stingy and cut the top off because, you know, there's often really quite a lot still left in. I mean, there, got quite a bit, haven't I, that I can definitely still use. So, yeah, right. I'm wondering if I should just water this down a bit. This is just acrylic paint, so I'm not saying that my methods are going to be brilliant here either, but I'm just trying to get some, you know, some gold kind of effect really going on here. Oops. And I just want to take it around here where I've got the white as well. Okay. Okay, and then, yeah, maybe a little bit here. Okay. Right, let's just quickly clean that. Okay, so, yeah, not too bad. I mean, not quite as arty and lovely as I'd hoped, but you know, it's not too bad. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just distress all around on the edges, and then what I might do is just kind of add some gesso or something on it as well. Or perhaps I should have added the gesso first. I'm really not very good at sort of mixing the arty type stuff with the, you know, with the junk journaling. Like I say, it kind of throws me, and I feel like they're two separate things. You know, the arty stuff is to me, yeah, doesn't sort of feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I can really carry it off with the junk journaling type stuff. So yeah, this is new stuff for me, new territory. But you know, I did want to have a go, so okay, and then just a little bit around here, I think. Okay, I'm actually quite liking how that looks, shockingly enough. Yeah, I'm actually quite enjoying how that looks now. So I'm going to leave her to dry for a few moments. So let's pull it in now, the man. So let's hope that this is dry. Yeah, okay, right. So what I'm going to do is try and dab on some gold. Over the top of that gesso, where hopefully then we're picking up some texture to make it look a bit more like a frame, you know, like an actual frame rather than just a piece of cardboard. So I'm taking some patina now. This is the antique bronze. Let's make sure then, and just going to mix that in with the gold. So I've got kind of a mixture of the two. Just sort of tones the gold down, and yeah, makes it hopefully look a bit more antique-y. I mean, obviously it looks rubbish, but don't forget the man's going to go in the centre of that. So I'm hoping that all that rubbish will be eliminated. Who knows whether it will. So I'm just going to now do the same kind of thing around the edge of the card. So like that. And again, sort of incorporating the patina as well as the gold. So hopefully I'm getting a good, you know, good antique-y type feel. Oh, you know what I forgot to do, don't you? Didn't round the corners. Now that's going to be a bit rubbish, isn't it? Yeah, it is going to be a bit rubbish. Right, I've just dabbed gold off here, so let me see if I can just... Okay, so I mean, I have got gold on the back, but anyway, hopefully it doesn't matter too much. So just wipe this down a bit. Okay, so now what I want to do is probably stick my frame on here. Oops. And my man, which, oh gosh, where's he disappeared to? Oh, where has he disappeared to? It's always a bit of a nightmare when you lose track of something. It wasn't this one, was it? Because he's massive. Got another oval here. No, that's something else altogether. Oh no, what have I done with that man? How very peculiar. He's gone missing. I mean, come on. In the space of like 10 minutes, how far could he really have gone? And according to this, quite far, obviously. Oh gosh. Well, what were the odds of that? I mean, obviously, when you're doing a video, I guess pretty high, but... Oh, that's very annoying. Very, very annoying. Right, okay. Going to have to bring in another one now because, yeah, I've obviously lost him. So, lost him for the time being. Right, let's punch out another one. So, we're using the 2-inch. And, yeah, let's do her instead. So... Okay, so again, just going to rough her up a little bit, just like we did with the others. And then just going to distress ink her a bit. Oh gosh, now I've picked up gold on my, must have been on my blender or on my finger, I'm not sure which. So she's now got smudges of gold on her as well. Oh well. Again, it doesn't really matter, and once she's on there, actually it looks fine. So yeah, I mean, she looks okay now, to be honest. That's just disguised that sort of background, you know, into, well, disguised appearance, I suppose. So yeah, we can now kind of get on with doing the rest. Now, I was going to do some black gesso on this one. Okay, got there eventually. Right. Oh gosh, I hope I don't muck this up. Got this horrible fear now. Right. I should really dry this off before I smudge more gold anywhere. So let me just quickly dry this with my heat tool. Right, now I'm going to pop this down with my hot glue. And again, I say things like this all the time. Honestly, I'm using this really for speed because when you're doing a video, you know, you really want to just make sure things are glued down pretty quickly and not be having to wait for them to dry. So, you know, you don't have to be using a hot glue gun for any of this stuff. It's just that when you're doing a video, it's just very helpful. You know, because it just eliminates the whole having to wait. Okay, put this one down here. So, and again, I mean, she's probably not completely in the centre of that oval, but she's, you know, it will do. She's in the centre enough for it to do. So I think what I want to do now is put some more, or another oval over the top of her. Again, so I'm just protecting her from becoming gessoed on. So yeah, because I want to do that black gesso, I don't want to obviously get it on her if I can help it. So just going to place this over the top of her like that. Oops. Okay, and then let's go for it. Oh gosh, I feel really, really, really nervous here now. Because why am I doing black gesso? Yeah, I am questioning that myself, to be honest. Oh gosh, I hope I don't spoil this completely. Right, let's just go for it. So, Okay. That's okie dokie. My goodness, how gorgeous does that look? I love, love, love that black gesso. Honestly, really love it. I mean, I was super nervous about putting that on there and thought, oh my goodness, why am I even doing this, you know? But it's a bit like when you paint furniture and distress it. I don't know about you guys if you've ever distressed furniture, but you paint the furniture and of course, you know, you stand back and you think, oh, it looks really good. You know, do I dare distress it now? Because obviously you're then effectively sanding off half the paint that you've put on. But that's when the magic happens, because it suddenly then goes from looking like a brand new piece of furniture that you've just bought from, you know, IKEA, to then it just looks like a family heirloom. So yeah, that's a bit how I feel this is. Now I've just spotted this that was just to the side of my desk. And I thought, oh, how perfect is this for this? So it's just literally a black flower trim with, actually it's a patinaed button. But how perfect is that for this? Just goes perfectly on there, doesn't it? Oh, I love how that looks. That's so nice. So yummy. And of course, yep, let's just check whether we want any black lace, because wow, why wouldn't we? I mean, it looks pretty anyway, but hey, it might look even prettier. Yeah, I think it does look prettier, doesn't it? So, and again, this is not probably like the best lace, because, you know, this is like very big, but I can obviously trim it down. So just pop that on there, and then I'm just going to cut that off. I mean, this just happened to be the lace that was in my, you know, bag beside my desk, but yeah, I mean, obviously probably not the ideal choice, because of course it is huge. Now I have to be careful, because I did just dip my finger in that black gesso and kind of smudge it around a little bit. So yeah, I need to be a bit careful that I don't do that. Do we want to have anything else? No, not that. Do we want some bling? Because again, everything's always better with bling, isn't it? So yeah, let's just finish this off with a little bit. Little tiny bit of bling down the side. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? I love it, love it, love it, love it. It's really, really, really lovely, isn't it? Yeah, and I mean, obviously, the actual components that are stuck down are very minimal. I mean, it's just one of my photograph printables and, you know, yeah, nothing else really. But how gorgeous does that look? So let's put her to one side. Now, I hope that this one's dry now. No, it's not dry. Right. Let me pull this one back in then, because this one's drier. So yeah, this one is drier. So let's just see about finishing this one off. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? And then let's just have a look and see. What about? No, that's not great. About a bit of lace. I mean, I'm just pulling this in really, because this is laying around on the table, and to be honest, you know, sometimes actually I mustn't be stingy and trying to just use things that are laying about, because they might not be the best thing, as was the case. Got that black lace, which actually that looks quite pretty. I know it's kind of now just the offcut of what we just used, but I mean, actually it looks quite pretty up there, doesn't it? Or we could have it down the bottom. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, that's really pretty. So now I'm just thinking, could we finish her off with maybe a bow? So yeah, let me just pull some bows in. Sorry about this, just trying to find them in my files. Oh no. Okay. I thought that might just go with those, but it doesn't really. It's not too bad. Oh, I don't know now. I've got this big butterfly. No, that's just like not very nice on there, is it? This one. Oops. Now pulling the lace around. Haven't really got quite the right coloured things, which is a bit annoying. Let me just cut this down. Cut this down and ink around it, and then just see. I'm just kind of having a bit of a look around behind my desk to see if there's anything laying around there. You know, like on the floor, as is often the case, obviously. You know, that might just be better. Because I feel like that butterfly actually, you know, is quite black, isn't it? And obviously now I've got that black lace. I don't want to now turn it into a sort of drabbish looking card. I want to keep it quite bright and nice. So let's just have a look. Let's just have a look. Sorry, I'm on the floor, literally. Well, I'm not on the floor, I'm on my chair, but I'm leaning down onto the floor, seeing what other stuff I've got. So I've got some wax seals here. Oh, yes, let's have these. Look at this colour. That is gorgeous, isn't it? So, yeah, let's have these and maybe a little bit of bronzy gold in them as well. I think that would be really, really nice. So, yeah, let me just grab my candle and my lighter. Okay. And my thingamajiggly. Grab my spoon, my melting spoon over here. Right, okay. Yeah, always worth kind of having a look behind your desk, isn't it? Because you just never know what you're going to find on the floor. No, that's just obviously in my case, but yeah. It's handy having a lot of rubbish on the floor, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to put this down here. Like that. Okay. And then whilst that's melting, I'm just going to quickly dry this one off. Because then we can obviously get on with this in a minute. So hold on. Okey-dokey. Sometimes the paint and the gesso actually takes a surprisingly long time to dry, doesn't it? And you kind of are, you know, hoping and waiting it's going to be dry, and you know, it can actually take ages. So okay, that is dry. Right, let's just quickly round the corners of this. Again, I'm just doing some of these bits and bobs while we're waiting, you know, for those wax pellets to melt. So let's just pop this like that. Now I have to say, I'm now thinking I don't even necessarily want to ink this because it looks so crisp and clean with that blue, doesn't it? And I just really, really love how that looks. But I think what I'm going to do is just try and ink gently. Famous last words. I mean, me and gently doesn't really kind of go together, does it? But yeah, let's give it a go. So I'm not going in too much onto the white, if you see what I mean, because then we've got some that's inked and some that's still crisp and white. So like that. And then I think what I want to do is just go round with some gold around the edge as well. Like that. Okay. Oh, I mean, how gorgeous does that gold look against the blue? Really, really, really scrumptious, doesn't it? Love, love, love how that looks. Okay, right. Just dabbed a bit of gold on here. So annoying. Always doing things like that. It's because I'm so impatient and I should just wait like a normal person would wait. But yeah, I think well, I'm just an impatient person, actually. I was going to say I think crafters are impatient, but that's possibly not really true. It might just be me. I'm just now making a sweeping statement, which is, yeah, not really fair to lump us all in the, you know, with the same brush, tar us all with the same brush, because, you know, I'm sure we're not all quite so bad, but yeah, I'm very, very impatient. Okay, right. Just going to give my wax a stir. I'm just quickly hunting now for my little thing that I've been stirring it with lately. Oh, can't find it, so I'm just going to use a biro. I know, I mean, not really the thing to be using, but hey, I'm sure it's fine. Okay. Oh, do you know what? Now I'm thinking, where's my wax stamper thing? You know, the actual stamp. Didn't actually look for that, so I hope that's over where it normally is, because otherwise I've melted all that wax for nothing. Oh dear. Why didn't I think to look for that first? Oh, this is why you shouldn't really just improvise and kind of do things on the fly. Oh no, where's it gone? Right. Oh, this is not great, is it? Not great at all. Right, let me see if I've got anything else that I can just use instead. What could I use? What could I use? I wonder if I could use a button or something. Maybe not. Thinking, have I got like a really patterned button? But to be honest, by the time I looked through those, I could have probably looked for my actual stamper. Oh, come on. Must be here somewhere. Right, I'm going to have to turn the camera off for a moment and go and look for it. Hold on. Right, I still haven't found it, would you believe? And I just can't be looking, can't be looking anymore. So I'm going to just use, this was one of my rings, and it unfortunately, the thing snapped, you know, the ring thing snapped. I'm going to just try and use this. I don't know whether this is going to work, but hey, let's give it a go, because I could be here all day otherwise. Just looking for the... you know, the thingamajiggly. So yeah, let's just do that. Okay. I don't know what kind of impression this is going to make, if any. I mean, well, I mean, presumably it will make some sort of impression, but yeah, it might look utterly rubbish. But hey, wouldn't it be awesome if it looked good? Because then I could use this for that. Oh dear. No, that didn't look good when I lifted it just then. Okay. Oh dear, what a bit of a nightmare. Okay, right, let's move this stuff out of the way. Honestly, I mean, it can only be somewhere here on my desk buried, but you know, my desk is so messy that, to be honest, I just thought, oh, you know, I'm going to be here all day looking for it. So yeah. Anyway, never mind. We will just go for this now. Right, let's move this out of the way. Okay, so on this one, I'm just going to gold around the edges with just my paint stick. Oops. Here. And then I think, I mean, to be honest, this really doesn't need anything else because it looks absolutely gorgeous as it is. But I think what I might just do is just add maybe a bow or something like that, if I've got one that's, you know, going to look like a good colour on here. I mean, obviously if I haven't, then I won't, but yeah, I'll just see. I mean, how gorgeous is that as a journaling card? Love it, absolutely love it. Right, bright bows. I've just got my bright bows here. Oh no, they were bright roses, sorry, not bright bows at all. This is my bright bows. Oh, now I'm not going to have a bright bow. That's quite right either, am I? No. I know I say it all the time, but again, back to that thing of, my goodness, no matter how much stuff we've got, we've never, ever, ever got the right thing, have we? I mean, honestly. I mean, I've got that. It is a good colour on there, to be honest. I think it is quite a good colour. I'm not sure though whether actually I might prefer to have a, you know, an actual stitched bow. So let me just see if I've got yeah, one of these. Kind of thinking maybe one of these instead might look better. Yeah, maybe just even sideways on like that. So yeah, let's just pop that one down. And to be honest, I mean, that's all that needs, I think. It just looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it, like that? Right, let's see what disaster this looks like now then. Oh, now the ring's actually stuck in it, would you believe? Oh dear. Okay, well, it's a bit of a weird wax seal. That's, you know, there's no getting away from that. It probably would have been okay, except this side's like got nothing and this side's got like that full-on rose, which is a bit weird. But having said that, it looks okay. I don't mind it. Yeah, I mean, not my best idea, but it was just kind of like, well, use this or don't use anything, because of course, you know, I just couldn't find that wax seal thing anywhere. Right, what do we think? Not loving that either, but let's just pop that on there. I mean, this has gone from probably being my favourite to actually my worst one. I'm not really happy with this one at all. You know, what with my muck up of the wax seal, and then, yeah, I'm just not loving it. It's not probably, it's just not come out how I would have probably chosen. So I definitely need to practice a bit more with the, you know, using the gesso and all of that kind of stuff, because, yeah, I think I've not really made a very nice job of this at all. Now, do I want to finish this off with like some pearls in the corners? They actually look horrible as well, don't they? So, yeah, not thinking those look good. Or we could have like 3 here. Do like to do things in 3s for some reason. Maybe like that. Yeah, maybe just like that. I don't know. Sorry, I've just now had glue all over my skirt, so I was just quickly wiping that off. Yeah, I'm just going to put those little pearls down there. Not happy with this one, it's got to be said. It's, yeah, far from how I wanted it to turn out. But hey, it is what it is, and it's okay. I mean, I could still use it in something. It's not like really awful, but yeah, it's just not quite. I mean, I didn't really have a fixed plan of how I thought it was going to look, but it's gone from being, yeah, my favourite, like I say, to actually now being my worst one. So just going to see, maybe it was the addition of that black lace. Maybe I shouldn't have put the black lace on. Maybe I should have, you know, gone more with the ivory look. I don't know where I went wrong, but definitely went wrong somewhere. So maybe we can just bring her back to life with the butterfly. I wonder if I should have had the butterfly instead of the bow. Well, it's too late now, isn't it? Let's just put the butterfly on there. Yep. Okay. Right. So, yeah, totally, you know, not happy with that one at all. Like I say, you know, I don't know quite what I did or what stage that I mucked it up. But, yeah, it definitely not loving it. But these ones I absolutely do love, I have to say. Yeah, I'm not even too sure which one I prefer. I really, really, really love them both. So, yeah, I mean, I hope that you like them. Maybe it's given you some inspiration. And, yeah, just have a play. And, you know, if, like me, you know, you make something and it doesn't turn out your favourite thing, just try and let go of it. Because, you know, honestly, I will just put this in my stash. I'll be able to use it somewhere. And then, you know, I'm not even going to remember it. So, yeah, kind of put them out your head if you're not happy and just focus on the ones that you were happy with. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.